sure that I'm good. Alright, do forget to change the nameplates, but we do have Jack Roth versus Kai Mark. We have Jack Roth who comes out with his Chief Porygon, and Kai coming up with Peladon and a Moon. Looking at the team sheets here, we have Jax who's kind of got the a little bit of slower mode with, I guess, Rapid Strike Urshifu there, just to be this choice scarf and do as much damage as possible. So going to allow for Porygon to go for the Trick Room. A good answer by, I guess, Kai here to bring in the Amoonguss. Just to provide, I guess, Spore pressure here for himself onto Jack's side. So the Terrestrialization has been committed by Kai here. Goes for the Terra Bug. The Archaludon does have access to Assault Vest, Body Press, Electroshock, Dragon Pulse, and Flash Cannon. And we're looking to see a Terrestrialization from Jack's side as well. So both people committing their Terrestrialization here. I will have to change the nameplates after this set, or after this this game. There is a U-turn into Amoonguss, which you can imagine, I guess the Ursaluna might be coming in instead. Maybe his own Amoonguss just to counteract the Spore, perhaps. So, gotta be careful here because you don't want your Amoonguss not to move. Sorry, your Ursaluna not to move here. Body Press comes into the Jemima, which does about 10 to 12 damage. The Terra Blast though committed, no Trick Room here, going straight for the Amoonguss slot, and it actually gets it down. The U-turn providing a lot of damage. And now there's a Trick Room pressure here for Jack. Because everything else on Kai's side seems to be on the faster side, except maybe for that Incineroar that he might have in the back here, which could be an option for him to go into, or he'll come into Pelipper here. Rather the Urshifu comes in. Actually, Amoonguss does have the Mental Herb, doesn't have the Rocky Helmet. It is Terra Water as well though. I'm sure he wants to commit to that quite early on, but he can go for a Trick Room, Rage Power Trick Room here to get a safe Trick Room off. And kind of set him up for the later game. But the Archaludon does come out instead. That's coming in the Pelipper, which is boosting the Urshifu's water type moves. And looking like Kai's going to go and be aggressive here. The Rage Powder does come in from Jack's side. Surging Strikes. It's 1. It's 2. 3. Brings it down to a third, or just above half HP there. Trick Room is being committed now by Jack. Relatively safe Trick Room. And now Jack can start pinging left or right. Also, he does have a Spore, which can be deadly in this situation as well, right? You Spore for free into any slot. And given that Kai doesn't have any safety goggles, so he does have safety goggles in Incineroar rather. The Spore is pretty quick, pretty fast. Right into the Pelipper. Seeing as Pelipper being the threat, I guess, other than the Urshifu. The Urshifu doesn't have a sash, it does have Scarf, and it's definitely going to go down with that beautiful Terra Blast from Porygon 2. And the Pelipper is going to take its first mandatory sleep. Point. Okay. And Archaludon comes in. And the Spore as well is free again, right into the Archaludon. Terrablast. All this Porygon 2 has been doing so much damage. The sole attacker in his Regulation F format gets it down. With an invisible sash. Born to live that Terrablast. And the Pelipper, which actually does have the sash, takes another turn of sleep. Now Jack's free to do whatever he wants here. He can target left, right, go down, and then the battle is cancelled, so Jack takes the first. So well played by Jack there, but I think Kai's got some information now, and with that information, and hopefully can make some adjustments to Jack's kind of options. And I think Jack's just sticking to his guns and doing the kind of the same thing here. Can be some different moves that can be outlaid on Jack's side to keep things tricky. But I guess the sole thing is just to get Trick Room up later on. Now, you look at the Regulation F format and you can only see Jack's only got one Pokemon from that's newly introduced. Everything is kind of that Reg H5, which he's comfortable with. Whereas you got Coyote, who does have the Lando and the Urshifu too. So, hey, how you going, Gee? What's going on? Good to see we've got Jack versus Kai coming up. This is round 2 of their match. We don't have the video comms up yet because we didn't have time. Bit of a rush, but we're here now. So, Jack doing the same thing. The only thing that's different is the Porygon 2's on the left side, and now I have recognised that, okay, I need my Incineroar here, because the Incineroar does have safety goggles. What's the turnout? There's about 25-ish people. Incineroar is Terra Ghost. Can't really... It's there for the safety goggles. You can fake out too and stop whatever Jack's doing on whatever side. You might have to stop the Urshifu because you don't really want it to go for a free Surging Strikes and give you Incineroar up for free, right? Once the Incineroar's down, it might be tough to get it back, but like to get the game back, so... Sorry, I couldn't come, bro. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, enjoy the beach. Very hot today. It's about, what, going to be 41, 42-ish today. Here comes a Terra Bug, which Kai did commit last time. He's going for it early again. The fake out though, right into the P2. The Surging Strikes though, right into the Incineroar. So the Incineroar goes down, and now you hit the safety goggles. Yeah, 41 degrees Celsius. It's about that, isn't it? Vincent goes down. Dragon Pulse. Does a decent amount of damage to the Urshifu. These do stop Porygon from moving for a turn. But the damage of losing Incineroar stuff, but the Lando comes in, okay, which is very nice. A nice adjustment as well, you have something there. The Lando though, is Terra Steel. Urshifu's Choice Scarf. So you do put Lando in a position of like, okay, what can I do here? You also have Ice Beam, that can hurt Lando too. So whether you do the Goose Step, yeah, which he does, and bring in Pelipper here, or a Moongus instead, that looks like Jack's definitely covered for that. And the Terrestrialization comes in for Jack. Surging Strikes right into the Moongus slot. going to get it down to 70%ish, 65% I would say actually rather. And you'd think that the effect spore though comes into effect, which is pretty funny. Most of you probably didn't see that coming, but it does come into effect. Dragon Pulse though goes into the Urshifu, which you probably could have left the Urshifu there. Probably could have targeted the P2. The Terra Blast comes in. Right into the Peats, into the Amoonguss, drops the Amoonguss, which is nice. But now you, as Kai, you don't have the Pelipper in the back to support your big shots. I do apologise, there are going to be loud sounds of drilling. Yeah, that's... University has seemed to do some renovations whilst we're playing. There are some loud sounds. Rage Powder from the Amoonguss comes in. This Amoonguss doesn't have effect spore. But that as the Sludge Bomb though comes into Amoonguss, does a decent amount of damage. A Dragon Pulse, not sure if that's enough. It's definitely not enough to hit the Amoonguss. A Trick Room though comes out for free. And now the Amoonguss is left there being the most dangerous thing on the field. It can spore left or right. The P2 can use Ice Beam onto the Lando, do lots of damage. Having Trick Room this late in the game for Jack is very beneficial for him, but yeah, losing Incineroar does hurt a bit for Kai. And perhaps maybe bringing in the Pelipper for the Amoonguss threat later on, but the P2 is just put in so much work. The Lando does go for the Protect, which it has to. And you can see the Pollen Puff go right into the Archaludon, breaking that its invisible sash that it has, knowing that, hey look, you survived Terra Blast before, now we're actually going to get rid of you. And does. Jack taking super good, total control of this situation here. The only problem is now... Well, there's no problem actually, is there? You fall asleep to a spore, you get Ice Beamed. Yeah, it's not looking good. Pollen Puff though instead, just doing its best, doing a bit of damage. The Ice Beam comes in, should be enough. It's 4 times weak, and the Lando goes down. And Jack just total control. Love the team. Well done, congratulations to Jack. Alright, we'll see you for round. Good luck everyone. You are now allowed to Gamba. Alright, shake of the hand, both the players, very good, very good. Someone's put 15k, oh my lord. 15k on Chris. Lots of money coming in. Lots of money coming in for Chris. You guys can still hear me, right? I hope you can. Yeah, the Allen Keep, beautiful. Thank you, Noir Angel. Shout out to Noir Angel as well. You can hear your boss, hey, Neon Carrera. Carrera. That rolls off the tongue quite well, actually. Alright, so we have the team for William's side. He has Ferreira, Giraffe, Fluttermane, Ogre Prawn, Chi-Yu, Tornadus, Landorus. Very highly offensive. And we have Christian's side, who has a Fluttermane, Chifu, Incineroar, Big Giraffe, Mungus, and Ogre Prawn Fire. Just to let you know, for Christian's side, the Shifu is a... just let you know if it's dark or... yeah, it's the dark... Oh no, it's Rapid Striker Shifu as well, so... bit more balanced side for Christian. Redirection here and there. The game's just about to get started. Buckle up your seat belts rather, not your seats. Here comes Ogerpon and Raging Bolt for Christian's side, and we have Tornadus and Orlando. Double genies coming in. Interesting to see. Raging Bolt they're both, Raging Bolt threatens the Torn, the Landorus threatens the Raging Bolt, the Torn threatens the Ogerpon, so everyone kind of threatens each other. I guess Landor also threatens the Ogerpon too, if it doesn't terror, so. What does William value first here? Value? Speed control. For the early part of the game. The Cudgel comes in right into Landorus, does a decent amount of damage, no crit there. The Earth Power though comes in, these guys are swinging off the fence, Raging Bolt down to its probably 20 to 30 HP less. Flickering Storm does miss the most crucial part of the team, which is the Ogerpon, but it doesn't even drop the Raging Bolt, and the Raging Bolt's free. These guys are swinging haymakers at each other. The Torn goes down. And you're left wondering, was the Tailwind the play there? But you also have Will coming in with the Fluttermane, which provides a lot of pressure as well. But we do know that the Ogerpon is faster than obviously the Lando there, so the Fluttermane can't really hit the Ogerpon for like real good damage. You can have an Icy Wind, which can be good actually, some speed control from his side. But do we see a Protect, which we do see the Spiky Shield rather. Just allowing the Raging Bolt to go down for free. Doesn't go for the Thunderclap to provide a decent amount of chip onto Fluttermane. The Icy Window not going to affect the Ogerpon. Does hit the Raging Bolt. Does go down. And the volume on. Shiny Fluttermane. Well, Will's side. There is no music though, is there, from William's side there? So I'm going to have to tell him to put some music on, or is there? No, there is. No, there isn't. It's quiet. It's eerie. Okay. Who's faster? That's the question, right? Who wants control? T-Wave goes into the Fluttermane. Obvious Christian that wants more control, goes for the T-Wave instead. Does hit the Fluttermane, is paralyzed. It can still move later on. We'll see. The Lando does go down though, recognizing that that's the threat. It goes for the shot there. The Fluttermane is paralyzed. Yeah, no music. And the Ogerpon comes in. The Christian just investing well. Getting the calls right. Doing the right thing. Sometimes you invest and sometimes you don't get a return, but sometimes you invest and you get a big return. You think probably William for the next match will be like, okay, I think I need speed control for the earlier turns, because that Ogerpon is just hitting for free, left, right, and center. Rationalization still hasn't been burnt yet, but now it has been burnt for the side of Christian, who goes for it. Gets the Ogerpon now, getting into really big and dangerous mode. The biggest threat here now is going to be the Ogerpon on William's side. You can imagine there might be a double into the Ogerpon slot there. The Fluttermane, it's not really doing anything. It's not really threatened. The Icy Window does come onto the Ogerpon onto Will's side, just ensuring that, okay, look, I want my Ogerpon to be faster, regardless. The Woodhammer though, big damage, right into the Ogerpon slot, goes down, doesn't care for the Cudgel, because it is the safest play, it does so much damage. And the Fluttermane just paralyzed, sat there. But I think Williams got some good information here, recognising probably the speed is an important part of this game here. Alright, what do you guys reckon? Alright, Floodamain Ogerpon for Christian. Landorus Floodamain for Will. Yeah, we did see that last interaction, and looks like the Proto goes first for Christian now. We could probably think that, okay, Christian's Flood is faster regardless. Do we need another check to know if it's proper faster? Not sure. But we gotta, I don't know if the chances are there. There's no real form of speed control there, except for he's checking his stats. Just making sure that he's faster. Or he's faster or slower. I think he's probably got confirmation that he's maybe a little bit slower. But I guess to entirely make sure, you can go for the Icy Wind here, and the Spike Shield goes up from the Ogerpon not wanting to get hit. That early, the T-Wave though goes on to the Floodamain, just guaranteeing that the Floodamain is going to be the slowest thing now. Which can be followed up with an Icy Wind in the return as well. The Sludge Bomb goes into the Ogerpon slot. Christian playing nice just to predict that and be like, okay. So the Floodamain does get a speed drop here with an Icy Wind. In the grand scheme of things, not as matter as much because the Floodamain will still probably be faster, given that it had its Proto boost. But the Ogerpon now becomes a bit of a threat as well, and the Floodamain kind of playing a little bit of support, which you do see now these days sometimes. We can still hit pretty hard, but being as fast as it is, it can support too. Now the Terrestrialization is going to be committed for Christian here, boosting his attack and cudgels. Which I feel like these days the crit chances have reduced a little bit. The Floodamain though is going to miss the Icy Wind onto the lander, which is kind of crucial in a way. You might want that little chip. The Cudgel comes in. Definitely going into the Landorus here, seeing that it's a threat. Does it go down? Yes it does. The Icy Wind miss didn't matter then in the end. Icy Window does come out. Now we know that the Floodamain has 2 speed drops, the Ogerpon has 1 speed drop. Now how does Will follow up here? Comes into Ogerpon. Wants to threaten that Ogerpon off the field. Though it does have Protect, so I want to be mindful that the Floodamain can just go for another Icy Wind on the Christian side, drop the speed of the Ogerpon. Play a little bit defensive, but also regain some speed control. He does withdraw it though. The Raging Bolt comes in instead. Here comes the Terrestrialization. Onto the Ogerpon. Boosting its special defense. Teary-eyed Ogerpon. Special defense is risen. The Ivy Cudgel though. Did we know that the Ogerpon's going to be the fastest thing on the field? Goes with the Raging Bolt. That's a decent amount of damage. No crit though. A crit would have been nice. And that's T-Wave into the Ogerpon. So now Christian is just crippling the speed. And the Floodamain can't move either. The investments, they're starting to pay off. And Christian just bringing in the right mon for this moment as well. Raging Bolt. Moonblast into the Floodamain. The Electro Web. Dropping speed even further. As if he's not... it's like taking like 2 wheels off a bike. The Floodamain though. It dodges the Icy Wind. The Raging Bolt though does get Icy Winded. The Cudgel comes in. You'd imagine into the Flutter Mane. The Flutter Mane's done so much now. I'm hoping that it does go down. The critical hit, did it matter? I'm not sure. Probably not. Lots of speed drops here, guys. Ogerpon fresh. Gets the attack boost back. Now the Woodhammer is threatening. The Cudgel is threatening. The Thunderclap is threatening. With the Flutter Mane. So, Thunderclap, yeah, goes into the Flutter Mane. Goes down. Woodhammer. Just imagine it coming. Going right into the Ogerpon. Super effective damage. Couldn't live it before, even if it wasn't terrored. Definitely won't live it now that it is terrored. And here comes the Chi-Yu. Choice specs Chi-Yu. Shiny too. But you think it might be a little bit too late now for the Chi-Yu to come in and sweep. The Snarl, the only kind of option here. But I'm very curious to see how much an Ivy Cudgel will do here into the Chi-Yu. The Chi-Yu probably go down to its red. Almost drop it. The Snarl comes out into the Ogerpon. Does a decent amount of respectable damage, right? The T-Bolt comes right in into the Chi-Yu. And that's game over. Congratulations to Christian. Anyone that betted on Christian, you get your money. Which was all of you. Okay. Congratulations to both players. They might see each other in cut, you never know. We got Diego versus Hummus. James Dawes. You will be able to predict if you like. I'll give you a minute to decide who you want to predict, and I wish you all the best and good luck. So, yeah, we do have James and Diego here, both players well known to the Sydney local scene. Both have played super well throughout the tournament so far to get to this stage undefeated as well. We might see a similar team. Actually, we do see a similar team with James. You may recognise it with Jack. That's okay. Love to see the team with the Diego side, which I resonate very heavily with. It does have the Ursaluna there. Instead of most people kind of opt for myself, I opt for the Smeagol in that slot of Ursaluna, just to provide a bit of a redirection and whatnot, but he does have the heavy hitter of the Luna as well, so. Charlotte Guerrero is an interesting name for the Incineroar. I love to see it. Oh, that brings back good memories. Rest in peace to Eddie, but Chavo is funny. Actually, so funny, dude. Oh lord. Alright, so here comes the Hatterene and Diddy. Here comes the King Gambit and the Amoonguss as well. So, bit of a, I guess, slow Pokemon, I guess, for James to kind of counteract any tricky shenanigans from Diego's side. Diego is true Trick Room player. Never have I ever seen him opt away from not playing Trick Room, so James just making the adjustment into that. Okay, you've got slow Pokemon, I've got 2 slow Pokemon too. Being that the slowest Pokemon on the field be the Hatterene. So yeah, can't really spore the Hatterene here. The Indeedee for Diego's side, it does have the Rocky Helmet. The Swords Dance though does come up for free, and Gambit being the fastest. And the Spore goes right into the Indeedee. No, it goes into the Amoonguss slot. Sorry, the Hatterene slot, which gets bounced back. And indeed he gets a free Trick Room here. It would have been nice if the Spore went into the Indeedee, the Trick Room. They do double Trick Room though. Which kind of thinking maybe, oh look, I want a guaranteed Trick Room. I guess the Spore kind of worked out for James. Maybe in that slot because Diego's just burned a turn and he's just got a free Kowtow Cleave up. I mean a Swords Dance up before the Kowtow Cleave that's going to come now. And the Kowtow Cleave just goes right into the Indeedee, 100% going to drop it. Rocky Helmet does get some residual damage back onto him. And the Spore goes back into the Hatterene here. Love to see it. But just to, here comes the Trick Room now. Okay, so the Hatterene gets free Trick Room off. It's still very heavily threatened by the King Gambit here. Although now there's Expanding Force and also a Torkoal that can come in for free. And the King Gambit is Terra Dragon, but then you kind of like, this puts James in such a difficult position. Yomith is Terra Water. The combination of Eruption and Expanding Force pretty much does enough to do what it needs to do. Right. So do you want to keep your Gambit? Do you want to sack? Do you want to like play a little bit slow, protect? You think maybe the King Gambit can just protect and then the Amoonguss can protect? Just burn a turn of Trick Room perhaps and just rethink, or do you want to go on the offensive here? Diego goes for the Terra. Most likely going to be that Terra Torkoal. And here it comes. Torkoal. Terra Grass Torkoal. Not the Terra Fire. Does have access to Solar Beam, Clear Smog, Weather Ball and Eruption. And it is Charcoal, not Choice Specs. The Protect comes from the Pancho Villa. The Eruption. Interesting to see how much this will do to the Amoonguss. The Amoonguss does have Mental Herb, doesn't have a Citrus Berry, does a respectable amount. Draining Kiss though goes into the what do you call it slot? The Spore, the Torkoal, just that's why it's Terra. That's why it's Terra Grass. Doesn't want to go to sleep that early. Very smart from Diego here. You do burn a turn of Trick Room here. Torkoal does a decent amount, respectable amount of damage. But I'm surprised that that Diego didn't go for the Expanding Force here. That would have done some decent damage to the thing. Here comes the Eruption. Again, into the Amoonguss, does a lot of damage still. The Expanding Force now does come out. Does get the drop on the Amoonguss, which is probably the biggest threat. Well, not really anymore, actually, really. It's kind of sitting there doing nothing because Spore can't really affect any of those mons. And I guess that's why Diego does have the Terra Grass on the Torkoal. Shava Guerrero. Tricky. Turns of Trick Room are going down. James is finding ways to buy a little bit more time. Here comes the Ursaluna. Ursaluna doesn't have that Guts boost yet. Chava Guerrero in a very tricky position here. The Hatterene does have Radiant Kiss. Does have a Draining Kiss, Carmine Trick Room, mind you. Torkoal does come out, wants to reset. Ursaluna, Diego's own Ursaluna comes in, predicting that, okay, look, you know, I want to get my my Ursaluna in for free. I don't really like the Incineroar here at the moment. Expanding Force, okay, not so much. Doesn't fit the Charvaguro. It'd be interesting to see what the knockoff goes into the Diego Ursaluna slot there. Knocks off the Flame Orb, which does buy a little bit of time and reduce a bit of the damage for Diego. So Diego trying to be a little bit bit cheeky, trying to overplay the hand here. But James just, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna knock that off just in case, and the knockoff comes out quite well for James. He reduced a significant amount of damage from Ursaluna. Ursaluna could still hit hard out of Guts Boost with its Headlong Rush onto Ferreira. So you kind of pin the Incineroar here. Expanding Force though still comes through. Only goes into the Ursaluna slot there. Does a decent amount of damage, respectable. The Headlong Rush does come through as well. Gets the Incineroar down. Like I mentioned, it still does devastating damage to the Incineroar regardless. And now James is Ursaluna, right? Can go for a Facade. Drop the Ursaluna slot there. Yo! Yep. Yep. Righty. James playing well. James is playing well here, just to slow down and contain the turns of Trick Room. Now, also like the Trick Room he has is now out. The Facade comes in to double that Torkoal slot to be like, you know what, you're the biggest threat here. I don't want you getting a hit off, and also the Hatterene just being like, you know what, let's just Trick Room here. Does get a free Trick Room off, however, at what cost? You lose your best partner in Torkoal. Sunlight is gone. You don't have really a means to attack now. You do, but you can't shot both Mons. Or can you? Punch does a decent amount of damage. Expanding Force goes into the Ursaluna. I'm not going to drop it, but the Facade should be enough, even without the Sucker Punch, to get rid of that Hatterene and James. Playing super well. Stalling the Trick Room out quite well, hitting the right shots. And Diego. Diego does have information now as well, so both players do have information. We do know Diego wants to get Trick Room up as soon as possible, but I think the turn where he kind of double Trick Roomed and didn't really do much with it kind of hurt Diego in a sense. But the Sport actually going to Hatterene was interesting. Kind of worked out well. Alrighty. Alrighty. So did we do the same thing? That's the question. I think we do for James. What does Diego do this time? I think Diego just got to put the eggs in the basket in his own way, and not put too many eggs in the basket, if that makes sense. Not be too greedy with swap-ins and stuff like that. Maybe, perhaps stick to his game plan. Alrighty. Teams are locked in. Players are ready. Pokemon cannot wait to come out of their balls to come and fight. Let's go. Diego. Hatterene and DD. Christian. James. King Gambit and Amoonguss. Alright, does he get a free Sword Dance off again here? And does he spoil the right slot? Let's go. Alright. Give me 1 sec, there'll be a slight pause in commentary. I'm going to print some things out. Indeed, he gets put to sleep. The Trick Room does definitely go up this time, so I didn't see what the player's locked into here, but I definitely do know that Trick Room is up and Sword Dance is up for the Gambit. Amoonguss does come out here, not liking to be expanding forced, I guess, and here comes Chavo Guerrero. So you might see a Draining Kiss come out at some stage, perhaps. Maybe even a Calm Mind. Houdini does wake up though. The Follow Me does come out from the Indeedee. The Draining Kiss goes into the King Gambit. Doesn't do as much as he'd liked. Okay, the Indeedee does go down, and this is where you get a free swap in with the Torkoal. Right. And then you could also, the Ursaluna is okay, which does threaten both Mons without the Flame Orb regardless. The Gambit is pretty scary. Just looking at his speed, just making sure. Okay, speed 50, got that confirmed. Got that confirmed for sure. So it'll be the third Pokemon to move. Call it. Does he call it? Does he call to protect here? He goes for the Calm Mind. Goes for the Calm Mind here from Hatterene. Wants a bit more damage. It's a very big play. The Headlong Rush though goes into the King Gambit slot, drops the King Gambit. However, you don't get the Flame or Guts boost, which I'm not sure if Diego's even concerned about the Guts boost right now. Knockoff does come out, does a decent amount of damage because it does have a reduced Deaf and Deaf. Big piece of James' Pokemon has gone, but it has already have done a bit of damage already. The Calm Mind though on Hatterene is kind of scary. I guess for James, the Draining Kisses start to add up and hit a bit more. Expanding Force is kind of there as well. Still a very close game here. Still a very close game. Targeting is very critical here. Very critical. Alright, here comes thrustalization onto the Incineroar. Incineroar, Terra Grass. Chavo Guerrero wanting to take a headlong rush. Well, expanding force though is going to hit the Incineroar now. I can touch you now, says the Hatterini. The headlong rush comes in. Is it enough though? It's definitely not enough. Does get a defense drop. The Flare Blitz gonna go to the Hatterini. Gonna KO itself, but at what cost? Because now James is left with the Amoonguss. And he's left with one other Pokemon, which is the Ursaluna. Now, do you slow down the Ursaluna on the other side with Spore? Or do you think that that's what's going to happen? The Ursaluna actually protects? Do you need your Guts boost? That's the question. Good question. Taking their time. Here comes Ursaluna. Does come out though. Into Torkoal. Getting the sun up. Trick Room turns are coming down. There is a Protect though. Trying to get the double off. Ursaluna does get the Protect off. If this is expanding force, definitely going to get rid of the Amoonguss. The Amoonguss does get E-forced. And it hits, and it drops. And I assume there's probably one turn of Trick Room left, which leaves Diego in a good position to sweep and get the job done. Oh no, there isn't. So this is the last turn of Trick Room. Which makes Ursaluna the fastest thing of the field here. It's kind of left being like, okay, I have to Earthquake here. If I Earthquake, I don't drop the Torkoal. I probably do drop the Hatterene, but the Torkoal is going to go for the defensive Terra, going to go for the Terra Grass, and looking like in a prime position to go for that Solar Beam that it has. Earthquake comes in, drop the Hatterene, yep. Not enough for the Torkoal. Solar Beam from the Torque, the big turtle. White smoke coming from its back. I actually don't know if this is enough. And we are into a game 3. Interesting. Would love to see the Polygon here. But I don't think it, I think the same for that James clean is enough. Like, what real adjustment can you really make? Maybe you can bring the Urshifu maybe for late game sweep, where you can like bring out Urshifu, you can like U-turn into something, get some damage off. Save it for late game when Trick Room goes out, but it's also tough because Torkoal's there, so you're kind of left to like close combat. So maybe not. Maybe not. It's getting super loud here, guys. I'm really sorry, but it is what it is. We're in the thick of it here at the moment. Yo.
You have a laptop to print?
Yeah.
We need to print out
Yeah.
Jim's,
Team sheet?
Jim sent it to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I can get it. Alright, sorry I've been absent for a little moment, but we are back and I see a close combat into the Incineroar, which lives it. And Olma gets the HP back, and Flare Blitz goes to Yoshifu. And Incineroar is going to be meet its own demise with its own attack. And the Kautarkly goes to the Indeedee, gets rid of it, had enough. Let's kill Pulse. Alrighty. Here comes Hatterene. Alrighty, guys. We do have Matthew Mitchell versus Jordan Challoner. I think it's Jordan's first time on stream. Good to have him on. We've got also a very fun team with Matty Mitch, who always creates teams that are fun, usually involving the big dog, Okie Dokie. Don't get to see often, but when it's there, it's there. Incineroar counter, can hit hard, got poison moves, good against flutter mains. Yeah, it's got all the good stuff. Righty, Matty Mitch understands the matchup. Already locked in, ready to go. I will put a prediction up there for you guys as well. The prediction will be Matthew or Jordan. Prediction is up. Alright, Jordan's finally locked in his team, 5 seconds to go. Alright, Bahamate. Let's go. Here comes Shrek and Rillaboom. And here comes Thunderous and Ifrit. Shrek's, because it's an ogre, I guess, yes. Makes sense. Which is good, and here comes the Tornadus. So the Tornadus set is an interesting one. Sorry, Thunderous set is an interesting one. It's Terra Dart, Prankster, Clover Cloak, Thunderwave, Wind Bolt Storm, Eerie Impulse, and Protect. The Okie Dokie is Dragon Terror, Guard Dog, Assault Vest, Drain Punch, Gong Shot, Knockoff, and Upper Hand. So it'll be tricky here for Rillaboom here, that if you want to go for the fake out, there is an upper hand in play. Whether he clicks that or not, it can be just enough to threaten, be like, okay, nah, don't do it. In a set, the Ogerpon set is quite the normal set you normally see, which is the Cudgel, Icicle Eye, Spike Shield, Sword Stance. Sword Stance is kind of not as popular, but it's good. And you get the Fire Rillaboom with Clear Amulet, Woodhammer, Icicle Eye, High Health Power, and Fake Out. Terra Sterilization is now consumed or committed onto the Ogerpon. Shrek's Embody Aspect is ready to go. And Terrestrialization now is also committed from the Okie Dokie. Not wanting to get hit super hard by the Cudgel coming its way, perhaps. So it's just going to be on the defensive side a little bit. There is a T-Wave right into the Ogerpon. The T-Wave shenanigans start to begin, and it's really important that now the T-Wave, the high horsepower though, does come into the Ogerpon, does get the crit, which is not fun. The Gunk Shot is able to hit right into the Rillaboom. One shots the Rillaboom. See ya later, that's a massive shot. And the Ivy Cudgel ready to go right into Thunderous. Gonna crit as well, that's 2 crits, but I don't, you know that the Cudgel does have double crit chance as well. So not double crit chance, but higher crit chance rather as well. That's why. And I'll just wait for him to make his move as well. Alright, here comes the Pokemon from either side. Thinking, waiting. I'll just get you to play with your Switch on the table as well, yeah. Alright. Here comes the Iron Bundle. And I couldn't see, it looks like a Protosynthesis. Looks like a Flutter Mane. It is a Flutter Mane. Boo. Alrighty. Interesting turn of events here now. We don't have the T-wave pressure, but we do have a really fast bundle. Which doesn't have the fun move. Does not. Doesn't have the Hydro Pump, which would have been super nice, but you also take the risks. If willing, take the risks rather. Here comes the Icy Wind. It's gotta miss the boo, which is actually critical. You'd prefer it to hit the boo. Moonblast. Right to Ifrit. And Shrek couldn't move. That's big. That's big. The T waves have been good lately. It has been actually paying its dividends as well. All right. Now, want a bit of speed drop. Want to get another speed drop and then be able to get Titan to hit hard onto the Flutter Mane. That's the question. Do you risk missing again? Is also the question. The Sansi, ooh. Okay. He protects Moogle. Iron Bundle loves pops protect, so cute. And the Grassy Glide, okay. Comes into that slot, protecting there was quite good. Moonblast though comes into the Titan, does just under half. The Sansi Storm hits both, hits the Shrek. And now, the big threat off, I guess the big hitter doesn't get to move, which is good, so that drops, which is nice. You get decent damage onto the bundle, which is also nice. Sorry, onto the Flutter Mane. Now the Raging Bolt comes in. Do you want to pop an Icy Wind here? A Thunderclap. Oh, into the bundle. The bundle's being targeted. The Encore though goes into the Flutter Mane there. I think maybe not wanting to get T-Clap. The Moonblast gonna go into there. It's gonna roll high. There's 3 HP left. The Earth Power goes right into Titan. Not going for the Sansi because they're like, you know what? I don't want to miss and I want to hit really hard. And the Lander is doing super well to provide enough offensive pressure. And we guess we can just T-Clap. Encore into T-Clap. Rather. And now you're left kind of T-Clapping. The Earth Power comes in, does enough damage anyway. Critical hit. Matthew Mitchell earned a critical hit because he did get crit twice in one of the other turns. But he earned that, he got that back. Gets the win in this first game of 3. Okay. Game 2. Game 2 is a big game here. What adjustments does Jordan make? Because Jordan did still play well there. But just the trickery of Matthew Mitchell. With the T-Waves and the Encores and all that kind of fun stuff. Makes it interesting. Makes it interesting. There it goes. Goldango comes out instead. A Thunderous. Well, the Goldango being the answer to that Okie Dokie. Now, just be mindful that the Okie Dokie has knockoff. You kind of can't be careful as well as Jordan. Like, okay, yeah, I brought an answer to it, you can't get Gunk Shot, but at the same time, I can get knockoff as well. The Goldango is Terra Steel, which you can open it up to being Drain Punched as well, so tricky. Jordan. The Thunderous as well can just do its own shenanigans as well and just T-wave that slot of Ogerpon again and just really cripple it. Do the job of just like slowing things down. The Shrek does come out though. And it might be the Raging Bolt or the Rillaboom instead coming in. But a Rillaboom, yeah. The thing's about to be turned up as the Goldango goes Terra Steel here. Predicting maybe, yeah, okay, look, I'll get knocked off, but I can probably take a knockoff here. Drop my life orb. I still want to hit. Terrasalization's being committed as well from Matthew Mitchell's side, which is going to be that Okie Dokie into Terra Dragon. Offensive Terra. Probably not wanting to get cudgeled either again, or cudgeled instead. The T-Wave goes into that slot of the Rillaboom, slowing things down. Nasty plot though, comes out from the Goldango, looking very scary. Knockoff, does enough damage into the Dengo. Just put it in an interesting spot because now you can Drain Punch, but also at the same time that nasty plot hits is gonna hit super hard. So what do you gamble with here? Drain Punch. Fake Out comes in into the Goldango. Oh, sorry, into the Okie Dokie. The Goldango goes for the Make It Rain. He got the upper hand here, which could have been interesting though. That's damage. The Thunderous still being able to move in these moments. Jordan just grabbing the momentum by the hand. You know what? I'm gonna Make It Rain. The Wind Bolt Storm does miss though. Who's gonna miss the Rillaboom? Not gonna matter too much. Rather hit the Goldango. Kind of condition now. What's threatened? What's threatening now is going to be Estelando coming in. I think that isn't May. Be careful that the Rillaboom is just allowed to hit Wood Hammer. But I guess Matthew just back. Jordan probably going defensive here. Matthew, you've gone for the protect there. Well then go for the protect there. Cool. Both power into the protect. And like I said, they've been probably free to go for a Wood Hammer onto the Lando slot. Which it does. And hits super hard. Good amount of chip. Now what? Paralysis. The Earth Power comes in, drops the Dengo. Good information knowing that the Lando is faster than Dengo here. Dengo's gonna be a mix of speeds. Windbolt Storm coming to the Rillaboom. Good damage. Put it in range of his Slug Bomb pretty easily now. If it wasn't already at range, just even at full health perhaps. Shrek. Now, do you slow down Shrek with T-Wave? You protect the land or you go straight for that Rillaboom? But at the cost of losing a Lando, so it's hard to, like, the bundle can't win the game here if Ogerpon's on the field, right? You kind of need to preserve your Lando as much as possible. Slow down the Ogerpon. The Ogerpon can protect as well, while the Rillaboom can go for like whatever it wants to into the Lando slot. So Lando's threatening for Jordan. The Ogerpon's threatening for Matthew Mitchell here. Glassy Glide though. You know what? Don't even think about going for a T-Wave. I'm just gonna Glassy Glide you. Drops the Thunders. Grassy Glide as well from the Rillaboom. The double Grassy Glide is quite good here. Double priority. 2 grass types. The grass has disappeared. And here comes the bundle. Big bundle of joy. But you do have freeze rise. 2 slots left or right. The speed from the Ogerpon might be too much for the Lando here. Not having been T-Waved, of course. Did you go for the double protect and hope for the Icy Wind? It's both Mons. I think he's asking for a little bit too much here. Spike his shield. Double protect is pulled off though, but at what cost? At what cost? The freeze dry. Go to the Rillaboom. Okay. This is good. This is good. For Matthew Mitchell. Or is it? Because here comes Fluttermane. Who does get a proto? This is off. And you can run the risk of encoring the Ogerpon. Can encore the Ogerpon here. Right? Then you allow Fluttermane to move for free. You can also follow me. Right? And just hit for free with the Fluttermane onto the Lando slot. And that's game. Icy Window does come out. That's a decent amount of damage, given that it's stab. Icy Window does come back. That might be enough to even kill the Lando, and it drops the Lando. Drops the Lando. And now the young bundle is all on its own. Risking a cudgel in its face, and it gets cudgeled. Not enough. And I guess at this stage you want some information. Okay, how much does freeze dry do? Does a decent amount. And the Moonblast just comes and cleans up. And we're gonna go to a game 3, guys. Well played by Jordan. Well played by Jordan. Didn't forget about the Pokemon in the back, which I use the Fluttermane in there. Gonna go into a game 3. Alrighty. I'll spin the Zamazenta in there. Game 3. Matty taking his time. Trying to figure things out. Trying to see, okay, what can work well here. The form ones that he had were quite good still. Does he go for a more of offensive kind of play rather than kind of disabling disruption play, or does he always save the disruption for a little bit later, which I think he's done now. You're done now. Alright, Real Boom and Boo. Good leads, and there's a Lando and a Bando. A bundle. Hook Drive has been activated, being the fastest thing on the field. Protect comes out onto the bundle. Protect comes out onto the Lando. So Matty just not wanting to get faked out either way, scouting what is going to happen anyway. The Grassy Glide though, that comes into the bundle. Looking like Jordan just wants to get rid of that bundle. And the Icy Wind as well. Could just really slow down the Lando and actually hit it a decent amount of damage 4 times. And now you see his hair. The defensive play now has to turn into some sort of offense or some sort of like repositioning for Matty to, I guess, gain momentum. The Flutter Main is still quite good. That was the Gorilla Boom as well for Jordan. Can get Freeze Dried onto the Boom. You can also like do speed control, like with Icy Wind and bring something in. But at the risk of you being speed control to control the speed. The Terror is an interesting play here. Just Terror Fire from the Rillaboom. Just removing its poison weakness. And taking a gamble. And the terrestrialization is also being committed by the Lando here as well. You know, not wanting to take a Moonblast for more than half the damage that it's meant to. The Freeze Dry. Decent amount chip. That's decent chip. And the Icy Wind. Woodhammer comes down, does a large amount of damage onto the bundle. The bundle's got HP of a peanut. Sludge Bomb comes in. Don't think that's enough, or is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So even with the terrestrialization, it wasn't able to save itself from a Freeze Dry and a Sludge Bomb double up. Now you can bring a Dogi. You can bring a Dogi here. You can bring also like Fluttermane. Thank you. The Okie Dokie comes in. And the Raging Bolt also comes in for Jordan. Interesting. Highly interesting here. A Sassy would be nice. You hit both targets, but you want to guarantee Raging Bolt to go down. But also you've been icy winded, right? So your speed ain't that good for Lando here. You kind of run the risk of being hurt pretty bad. I guess from the bolt. That can do like a Draco Meteor, the Moonblast does come in. Into that Okie Dokie slot. The knockoff though, knocks off the AV from the bolt, which allows Draco Meteor to miss, which is a big miss. The E-Power does enough, gets rid of the bolt. Okay, once now the bolt's down, the big piece of Jordan's team is gone down. I call it how you see it, but Shrek now comes in. It's still tough. Terra has been committed from both teams, but the Lando speed is an issue in this end game here. Because you get hit with the cudgel, it's gonna hurt onto Lando. Does Jordan respect Matthew enough for him to protect there, or does he want to reset the speed? It's the question. Or does he want to protect and bring in a Thunderous here to do some speed shenanigans? Okay, the Thunderous comes in. The Spike Shield has been committed. Okay, does this allow Matthew to bring in a Mon for free, which it does? The Gunk Shot, oh, could have gone into the Flutter slot, but it goes into the Ogerpon slot. The Gunk Shot is there now. That a T-Wave as well. The T-Wave is going to be very disabling. And really put a dent in that team of Jordan's, because the Lando is really heavily threatened. If you slow down the Ogerpon there, the Flutter Mane is not really a threat anymore, so you can leave the Flutter Mane to do whatever it wants. Interesting. T-Wave comes out onto the pond. Oh, no. And here comes the Titan. Which allows the Titan to go for more T-Waves into the Flutter slot as well, which can make the Ogerpon be like protect. But if the Ogerpon doesn't protect, you actually think you have to respect the Ogerpon regardless, right? If Jordan gets his call right, it's game over. She's doing turnovers, let's see. T-Wave into the Flutter slot as predicted. The Icy Wind comes in. T-Wave not being able to T-Wave or paralyze. The Slush Bomb is enough into the Ogerpon. And it's looking like that Matthew Mitchell has adjusted from the game 2, coming into the game 3. There's an Eerie Impulse that can be caused here. The Eerie Impulse won't miss, reducing its special defense, a special attack rather, harshly. The Shadow Ball is not going to be nearly enough unless it crits, and it doesn't even get close. Even if it did crit, and the Earth Power is just enough to get it down to orange HP. And we're going to see another, probably a Windbolt Storm, and it can't move regardless. It tries to protect or do whatever it needs to do, and it goes down. And well done to Matthew Mitchell. What a game! Good game. Gonna move on to round 5. Swiss round 5. This will be the last game. Alrighty guys, we are back. Round 5 Swiss. We have Yomith versus Isaac and they're ready to go. So looks like they've made the same leads before in the first game. We've got Torkoal that's come in and we've got a Flutter main as well. We've got the Tornadus for Isaac's side and we have the Ogerpon. Now the Torn set is kind of a different set. It's a Steel Terror with Protect, sorry, rather wrong one. Clover Cloak, Bleakwind Storm, Rain Dance, Tailwind, Taunt. And the Ogerpon has Follow Me, Ivy Cudgel, Hornlick, and Spike Shield. Now, Yomith's going to commit the Terror Terrestrialization onto the Torkoal here, Terror Grasp. And he's going to go for the Helping Hand into the Flutter main. And the Rain Dance definitely is crucial here. Goes for the Rain Dance. Rain is starting to fall. The Proto is worn off. Power Gem though goes right into the Taunt. Recognizing Taunt as a threat. Drops the Taunt. Critical hit may or may not have mounted there. Given however that the Flutter main is choice specs though. The Cudgel though comes into the Flutter main there. Gonna drop the Flutter main. So they do trade. A big hitter for kind of a Pokemon that sets it up now. Yomith might have Taunt in the back, which his Taunt does have Tailwind, Honey Dance. But in this situation, it's kind of hard because he kind of will be a step behind. So Torkoal's in a weird position. Being as it may that it could be the one that can just be support. Here comes Walking Wake. And then here comes the Thunderous. The Walking Wave comes out. The Rillaboom though comes in. The Eerie Impulse into the Rillaboom is big because you kind of redirect a Mon, and now like the special attack drop is not going to really matter onto the Rillaboom, but the Yawn goes into the Thunderous, which is interesting. And let's see. Is there a world where Yomith wants to reset his son? Is there also a world where Isaac wants to be like, nah, yeah, I'm happy to go to sleep here? It would have been interesting to have Electric Drain won't do much for Thunderous. It kind of can reset the terrain for itself, and maybe bring Iron Treads in for free, which would be cool. Alright, Thunderous does come out. Iron Treads comes in. Torkoal comes out. Walking Wake comes in. The Cudgel into the Wake, the higher horsepower into the Treads. follow me. Off the Ogerpon. Instead of attention, the Dragon Pulse into the Ogerpon does just not enough to get it to half. The high horsepower comes into the Walking Wake, doesn't do enough either. The Woodhammer though, it might be enough for the Ogerpon to go down, which it does. These guys are swinging though, big momentum shift. Even that Torkoal just done enough to, you know, allow the swap. Thunderous comes in. The Ice Spinner is there, maybe. Not sure. Isaac thinking. Is the Ice Spinner going to be enough? Or would it be the right play here to get rid of the Wake? Or is Rillaboom a threat? A threat probably might be the Walking Awake. But are you enough to, is the Windbolt Storm enough for the Walking Awake to actually get it down? It probably is. Torkoal does come back in, wants to reset its son, or itself, and I guess its partner in Walking Awake. Trustalization's being committed now. Onto the Iron Treads. Yo, what's going on, Kicks? Good to see ya. Thanks for the sub again. 25 months, my man. Look at that Treads with its ghost on its head. Ice Spinner though does come in. Gets rid of the terrain. Doesn't drop the Rillaboom. So, Windbolt Storm. Would that be enough? A good kind of pivot, but it does paralyze the Torkoal, which is kind of funny. The high horsepower goes to the Treads, not enough. Good terrestrialization committed by Isaac here. Torkoal's actually kind of troubling here because it can do like yawn stuff for late game kind of pressure. Can also just go for the eruption, right? If you're left unchecked, you can just hit for free and then that's game. So you got to be careful here, Isaac, because Yomith kind of positioned himself kind of in the best situation for him, because now you control the weather. You've got a big thing in the back. You got your impulse into the Torque, maybe reducing its eruption pressure. The Ice Spinner though does come out into the Rillaboom. Does drop the Rillaboom there. I want us to see an eruption that actually might hit hard. Heat Wave instead, which drops the Treads. It leaves Thunderous on its own. Thunderous cannot win this game on its own though. The Windbolt Storm's not enough unless it gets kind of luck on its side with some paralysis. The Walking Wake comes in, and given that it's in the sun, it's activated its photosynthesis, which is a special attack, and the Windbolt Storm is not enough. Tech though does come out, playing a little bit safe just to get a bit more chip off onto the Thunderous here. The Windbolt Storm coming in. Into the Torkoal. The Yawn! Okay. Fair enough. I'm actually curious to see how much Windbolt Storm does. Hydro Steam, doesn't matter because he goes first anyway, and the Hydro Steam just does enough. And Yomith just playing it safe, playing well. Yeah, well done, well played. The Torkoal though is a bit of a threat, isn't it? Being more supportive than it is. So that's game one to Yomith. To Dilladong, who is his first tournament here, our local tournament. So congrats to him. He's going to go try and get an extra win here to go on to maybe into cut, but Isaac needs to make some adjustments here and adapt to this Sun team. All about the end game here, isn't it? All about the end game. Here's Regidrago. Safe Pokemon to bring in later on for end game. Tailwind, Regidrago. You get rid of the Flutter main first. Oh, he's there. It's like he heard me. But I was thinking maybe in late game, he wants to bring it up first. Just gotta be careful, like, that the flutter main comes out first. It's gonna be hard. Thunderous being specs in Sun is scary. Alrighty. All bloody righty, game 2. Alright. Do we taunt? Oh, also tricky too, like depending on whose taunt is faster, taunt might come off later. But do you run that risk of taunting? Because I don't think Yomith's, let me double check Yomith's set here. He doesn't have taunt on his Tornado, so he's got Protect Tail and Liquid Storm and Sunny Day. The Flutter main has just choice specs of Moonblast, Power Gen doesn't limit Shadow Ball. Ooh, lock it in there. Spike a shield though. Comes in from Ogerpon. The taunt though, it is faster. It goes into the Flutter main. Which, I don't know if he locked that in properly, did he? I think he might have he's meant to lock that into the Torn. No, the Power Gen though, gets it down. There's no Tailwind as well for this late game, but he does survive. The Helping Hand did actually matter a lot, looks like, from the Torkoal. So Isaac just holding his breath there, gets another chance at this. Gets another chance at this. Do you prefer the Tailwind, or do you prefer the Rain Dance here? Tailwind to set you up for later game-ish. He's kind of hard now because the other Taunt's kind of one step ahead, so do you want to taunt that Taunt then? Instead, try to get it to not move. The Flutter main though does come out. Not liking its position there. The Walking Wake does come in. Special attack is heightened. The Terrestrialization's been committed. And the Terrestrialization is going to go into Bilidon. Oh no, into, sorry. Ogerpon Water. The Rain Dance. Good enough to shut the sun off, which is good. The Proto's off. The Cudgel comes in. I thought I went for the Horn Leech. Cudgel into the Torn gets rid of it. That's a big part or piece. Because now you don't have Sunny Day unless you have Torkoal in the back, which I can imagine maybe Torkoal might be in the back. And if it's there, it probably comes out now. So there's no Torkoal in the back, which means Sun is there for the remainder of this next few turns. Rain, rather. Alright. Grassy Glide's troubling, the Fake Out's troubling here. There's no Protect. You kind of have to be like, okay, maybe I'll sack the Taunt, or do I want my Taunt for later? Taunt might be useful later, perhaps. But then you allow the Walking Wake, or like, the Rillaboom hit something into free into that slot, so not having Protect kind of tricky. But Thrustalization's being committed though. Into the Walking Wake side, the Walking Wake into Terra Water. Ooh. Big Terra. Spike Shield though into Ogerpon. The fake out into that slot there, okay. Interesting. Rillaboom does get hurt, a little bit of chip, not bad. The Tailwind though comes up free from the Isaac side. And the Hydro Steam going to the side of the Ogerpon. Now, Ogerpon, water is such a defensive like Pokemon, but also has so much offense too, right? Especially in rain. So now there's a Grassy Glide that I can see happening, right? So you kind of be like, okay, Taunt's done its job. If it does get a Blake Wind off, great. Happy to have a Blake Wind. But now having that Tailwind kind of secures kind of the end game here in a sense, or towards the end game. Grassy Glide goes into the Ogerpon, does good damage. The Blake Wind though is not going to hit the Walking Wake. Definitely going to hit the Rillaboom, does a good amount of damage. Horn Leech though. So now it's tricky, because now there's Grassy Glide pressure. Did you protect the Ogerpon Bleak Wind? Spike the shield. Or does Yomith just be like, you know what, I know you're going to protect because you have Protect. I'm going to Grassy Glide or get rid of the... It does have to respect that. Blink Wind does come out. Does drop the Rillaboom. Does drop the Boom. The Hydro Steam. Goes into the Walking Wake, goes into the Taunt. The Taunt, look, has done so much work. It's worked overtime. It's done more than it has had to. And keeping it there is just like so good for Isaac. Because you still have 2 turns of Tailwind, or a turn of Tailwind. You have Regidrago with under Tailwind. You have Thunderous, which can hit super effective damage onto the Walking Wake. There is Flutter Mane still there, that's why I think Isaac was kind of hesitant to bring in the Drago there. Because now, yeah, you can win Bolt Storm. 1 turn of Tailwind. There is a Protect for Walking Wake. There is no Protect for Flutter Mane there. So Flutter Mane kind of pinned in like doing what it doesn't want to do and just take hits. The Cudgel comes in to the Flutter Mane. Gonna drop the Flutter Mane. Windbolt Storm goes into the Walking Wake, drops the Wake. This is looking like it's gonna go to a game 3. Good adjustments by Isaac there. The first turn when he taunted the Flutter Mane, I was confused. Did it make sense? Maybe. But we're going to go to a game 3 here. Resistance is what holds in the balance for each of these players. People are holding their breaths. I can see it. They're hoping Resistance puts them into the top 8. Top 8, you get good amount of points. Some people already know that they've already made it to top 8 being undefeated or being X and 1. It's the X and 2s. I think 2 people make it, perhaps. Love the team name, Pokefolk. It's good Pokemon being played here today, though, for sure. Alrighty, Smeagol and Rillaboom. Interesting. Interesting. The Ogerpon and Torn is there. The Walking Wake comes out. The Taunt though goes into the Walking Wake, which is kind of crucial because now the Walking Wake can't protect, right? It actually has to go for move. The Woodhammer goes into the Taunt slot, which does a good amount of damage. Must be max attack, holy moly. And the Tailwind can be quite nice here. You can Horn Leech, you can spike your shield. But just giving that extra, you know that the Walking Wake can't protect, right? So might be able to go free shot here for real. But it also risks that the Rillaboom can still, like, can Woodhammer the Ogerpon, and the Flamethrower can also come through. That's a good amount of damage. The Dragon Pulse though goes into the Taunt. Drops the Taunt. I can imagine a Woodhammer coming out into the Ogerpon, which does come out. Big Bob. That's a critical hit, and that's a massive, massive hammer to the head. And it matters. It matters a lot. Tailwind is up though. There's still some offensive pieces for Isaac there, but having lost that isn't good. It's not good whatsoever. The Thunderous and the Regidrago need to put in a lot of work here to swing the momentum around here. Definitely the play is to go for the Dragon Energy and for the Windbolt Storm perhaps. You may or may not have to Terra to probably take less. I don't know. Windbolt Storm. There might be a swap in here with Fluttermane coming in. The crit puts everything on the line. The Rillaboom comes out. Torkoal comes in, boosting the special attack of the Walking Wake there. The Windbolt Storm drops the Wake, which is actually good, because now that the Dragon Energy is definitely going to drop the Torkoal there. However, Sun is up. Tailwind is still up though for Isaac here, so that's a big swing for Isaac to just get rid of 2 mons. The only problem is the Rillaboom coming out was smart from Yomith, because now you get fake out pressure, and you have Smeagol actually. I forgot about there's no Fluttermane. Oh, this is very interesting. Smeagol can't do much except for fake out. This actually puts Yomith on the back foot. Because really, you've only got one offensive tool here, and that's your Rillaboom. You get rid of Rillaboom, you win the game. The Rillaboom, it's hard for it to get rid of the 2 mons at once. You do have like Spore pressure. Thunders can't move. High horsepower though goes into that slot there. That's a good protect. The Moody though, we have fast fours. Are you off? Not staying back for the challenge? No? Fair enough. Go to the beach. At Sydney? Yeah. I'm gonna win Sydney, don't worry. I'll win. That'd be nice, yeah. I think Latest. Now. Today. Today. Yeah. Okay. Was it Joji? Oh, Carl, yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's either hard trick room or some kind of balance, I think. But yeah, we'll see. I'm playing the GC with hard trick room, so it's going okay. It's going okay. But we'll see how we go. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much. See ya. Alright. I missed a few parts of the play there. Looks like there's a protect. The fake out though comes into Smeagol. The T-Wave though goes into that slot there. And I think Isaac's pretty much sealed the game here. All we're gonna do is just Dragon. We're gonna do is Dragon Energy. And I'm gonna call game here, so well done to Isaac. Alright, looks like Mitch has got a team called Tingers. It's got the good old Ting Lu, but with no gouging fire here, which some people have. So just looking at more into the teams, got Smeagol with Grass Terror, Technician, Focus Sash, Follow Me, Fake Out, Decorate and Spore. Pokemon has Ivy Cudgels, Like Shield, Warhammer, Follow Me. Urshifu is Water Terror, Choice Scarf, so just tries close combat. Aquajet U-turn, Tinglu, Poison Terror, Clear Amulet, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Protect, Terror Blast, D-Knight Steel, Multi-Scale, Loaded Dice, Gale Shot, Iron Head, Extreme Speed Protect, and the Tornadus, a Sharp Beak, Ghost Terror, Bleakwind Storm, Tailwind Protect. Looking at Dylan's side's got the Flutter Mane, Flutter Grass, Booster Energy, Moon Blast, Icy Wind, Taunt, T-Wave, Rapid Striker, Shifu with Choice Band. With Ghost Terror, Circuit Strikes, Close Combat, U-turn, Aquajet, Incineroar, Grass, Intimidate, Assault Vest, Flare Blitz, Knock Off, U-turn, Fake Out, Rillaboom, Clear Amulet, Wood Hammer, it's actually Water Terror, sorry, Grassy Glide, High Horsepower, Fake Out, and Golden Go, Flying Terror, Fly Forward, Make It Rain, Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Protect, and Dragonite. With Steel Terror, Multi-Scale, Loaded Dice, Scale Shot, Iron Head, Extreme Speed. So they have some similar kind of builds with some Pokemon here. The Smeagol can be interesting, but I think Dylan has the right Pokemon in play, like Incineroar and Rillaboom, to kind of take care of that Smeagol. Side Decorate could be interesting if I were to go for that. But here we are. Match has started. Goldengo and Urshifu's out, and we have Leprechaun and Lochiel. Or the Taunt Shifu lead here. Now there's no there is Tailwind, but there is no Rain Dance. There's Taunt instead with Protect. So you could think that the Terror might be committed here just to get some extra damage off of possibly the Golden Go. As well. Does he know there's the damage enough, or is he going to burn his Terra too early is the question, so he's gone for it anyway. Dylan taking his time, and he's got there, so the terrestrialization's coming out from Dylan then, I believe. Dark Punk Helmet coming up with his own Terra. Terra Water. Both are Terra Water. Terra Head. And the Surging Strikes. Going into that Golden Go, and it's gonna get it down pretty low. Not gonna drop it. But you do kind of like put it in a position where like, okay, look, can't really do much. You actually have to hit now. But it does go for the Make It Rain. Provides some good spread damage, decent on the Tornado side. The close combat though goes right into the Shifu. It is choice banded, so it does drop it. But you do now probably fall to a Bleakwind Storm if it was going to hit. Now, Bleakwind can miss, which can be pretty devastating. You can get both kills here. And it does miss one Pokemon. It's going to miss the Gimmighoul, which is kind of sucky because you allow now the Goldengo to sit there. Whether it can do anything with it, with itself, not sure. Here comes the Ogerpon. The Proto has been activated for Dylan's Flutter Mane as well as Mimi. Alrighty. Now you can go for the Tailwind option here just to secure your speed for the rest of the game. Which is probably kind of the safer option. You don't want to really have like Golden Go having like a free shot into anything because you really just want to target the, I believe you want to target the Flutter Mane. The Flutter Mane does have Protect. No, it doesn't have Protect rather. It has the T-Wave, Taunt, Icy Wind, you can return in like in an Icy Wind kind of way, but or a T-Wave into the Ogerpon. So there is a Protect coming from thing, but the T-Wave yeah definitely comes out into the Ogerpon, so it does slow it down a bit. Make a Rain comes out. It is minus special 1 attack. Minus 1 special attack rather. Does a nice little chip damage. Drops it again. But it's gonna go down to its own rifle, so. Went down swinging. Got a little bit of damage off, perhaps, but the Cudgel is able to go into the Flutter Mane, get it down to orange, kind of a bulkier Flutter Mane. Felix comes out, which is the Rillaboom. So now Dylan down to his last 2 Pokemon, which still has one in the waiting. Do you want to set up Tailwind here for the end game? Mind you that the Flutter Mane on the Tornadus on Witch's side has already protected, and it can be faked out. But it goes for the fake out onto Ogerpon instead. The Moonblast comes in, drops the Taunt. Maybe a missed opportunity to go for a Tailwind there, just for later game stuff. Perhaps. Dragonite though is there. But I believe the Terrestrialization hasn't been committed. Or it has been committed rather already, so. Bit of a tricky situation for Mitch here. It is multi-scale. Can take a hit. But do you want to be Grassy Glid and then Moonblasted? I don't know. But then you also get hit back with an Ogerpon, so. Alright, Terrestrialization now being committed from Dylan's side. Going to be in that Rillaboom. Going to be a Terra Water. Not wanting to get hit by the Ogerpon for super effective damage in this turn for now. The Icy Window, 4 times damage into the Dragonite. Multi-scale is now broken. Gets a nice little speed drop. Paralysis can also come into play here for the Ogerpon. The higher horsepower comes in. Not enough. A scale shot into the Rillaboom. Speed. Cudgel comes in, drops the Flutter.
Lose the league challenge. Your round 2 parents are up.
Alright. Mitch. By himself with... Sorry, not Mitch. Dylan by himself with a Rillaboom. He is hoping that perhaps a Thunder Wave for us comes into play here while he tries to take out this Dragonite. The Dragonite Scale Shot is good and Mitch turns the momentum around. Does super well. Goes down. I think in a situation that could have been like a Grassy Glide to drop the multi-scale for Dragonite and Moonblast might have taken it, but we're not sure. Could be a bulky-ish, perhaps. Dragonite. So information for both players leading into this next match. So yeah, interesting to see. Game 2. We didn't get to see the Ting-Lu, which would have been fun to see for a little bit, but I don't think he needed it. Alright. Comes down to D-Knight, Urshifu, Torn. Ooh, the Urshifu goes to the Surging Strikes into the opposing Urshifu. Maybe he's thinking maybe there might be a swap here, but it's actually pretty still decent damage, I guess chip damage when you think about it, because there might be a Bleak Wind coming out. This Urshifu goes to the Surging Strikes into the Leprechaun instead, and this is going to shut it down, all the way down. The Torn is gone. Didn't get much out of the Torn, really. Given that it's banded, it does hit hard. Scale Shot though. right back in to the other Urshifu, getting a speed boost as well. Although having its defenses dropped. Is interesting. Are we about to see two Dragonites in the field? Not sure. Here comes the Ogerpon instead though, putting pressure on both Mons, really. Interesting. Ball position's interesting. Dragonite's in a pretty decent position just to keep doing what it needs to be doing. So also Urshifu being banded on Dylan's side. Can go for the but he goes for the surging strikes into the opposing Urshifu again. Just getting more chip damage. Not wanting to break the multi-scale right now for Dragonite. Thinking maybe there might be a swap in here, but here comes a scale shot as well. A scale shot would drop the Urshifu there. Could have been nice maybe the Urshifu, the scale shot might have gone into the Ogerpon there. And maybe doubling into the Ogerpon slot. Because you do have Wood Hammer. Comes in, it's going to hit that Urshifu and drop it. Was doubling to the Ogerpon slot might have been quite a good play. But here comes a D-Knight as well, the Incineroar. So I think maybe like just pressuring that slot and be like, okay, trying to see if there's Incineroar is going to come in and just drop it for free. Take us on board here, and that allows the but it could also be just to protect you, just play it safe. Missing a scale shot can also suck a lot too. Maybe coming with your own issue. That's also very true too, right? So the Urshifu on Dylan's side's Terra Ghost. Here comes a Protect. It goes for a little goose step where you bring it in Incineroar, then you're going to fake out and just bring it a Goldengo in for free. Which you know, successfully drop the attack for Ogerpon and the D-Knight. Very nice. Positioning though, the Goldengo is Terra Flying. So it comes back out, you get a free Incineroar switch in here. Kind of cycling that. Those attack drops. Because you can go for this kind of play now. Scale shot into the Ogerpon. Yes, both D-Knights are multi-scale. And that might be enough as a crit. Oh. Defense drop doesn't matter right now. Speed matters a little bit, maybe. The Cudgel gets baited by the Incineroar and just eats it. Eats it for breakfast. So now there's fake out pressure once again. And you don't even have to go into your back into Goldengo at any stage. You can probably fake out the D-Knight, put pressure on the Ogerpon, or vice versa, right? Fake out kills Ogerpon from here. You might want to like target, as Dylan want to target, which is D-Knight. So here comes the terrestrialization from Mitch's side. Press the surrender button. Boom. Take out, yeah, into the D-Knight. Smart play. No protect. Extreme speed. Into the Yoga Pond. Drops the pond. Goes down. And now Mitch is on his own. With his own D-Knight this time. Last game was on the other side, but... Protect here. Just to play it safe. This is dead into. Knock off. Yeah, that hurts. Knock off the loaded dice. Just bullying the D-Knight now. And now you just do whatever you want. Bring Goldengo if you want. Bring another Incineroar back in, switch. I don't know. Now this is kind of valuable time actually as well for me to kind of reconsider and adapt to, I guess, how Dylan's adapting to the game in this set. So, do we see a Tinglu? Oh, I never see Tinglu because Tinglu can be like, oh, he's kind of going. I guess this is good because you play it safe. Like, you know, you want to play good Pokemon. You want to reset your drops. I guess protect here. There's no reason not to. It doesn't have Earthquake. If Dino had Earthquake, might be interesting. Great. I thought I got Skull Shot. Shadow Ball. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Alright, mate. What's going on? Sure. Yeah. I'll play the next time. Huh? I didn't use it. It's mine. I have the same team. Top 4. This is game 2. This is going to be 1-1, yeah. Alright, Shadow Mine. Cool little shroomish looking play picture there for him. Okay. I shouldn't get really much out of that Torn there. And just having the information that, of course, yeah, we know that the Choice Band or Shifu drops a Torn there, but I guess if you want to make the most out of it, is if you can get your Tailwind up. I think. Yeah, it is Mitch. Mitch and Dylan. And on the other top 4 table we have Diego versus Yoav. A couple of hard hitters going at it. Get the Smeagol and Torn. Could you get like a fast Spore happening? When I look at the team sheets on Dylan's side, yeah, the Fluttermane's Grass, the Urshifu Ghost, the Incineroar has Assault Vest, the Rillaboom is Rillaboom, Goldengo's Goldengo. Could catch him out with kind of a fast Spore, really. You also like fake out Tailwind and then decorate yourself. No, you can't because it'd be too late. You'd be too so you kind of have to be like fast Spore. It's a good mod, I reckon. Just does the job. Aquajet. Okay. I see the play now. The Tailwind comes up. But the fast Spore might be actually be brutal here. And he's gone for it into the Urshifu. We may see a Tailwind. We may see a Make It Rain. We might see a Nasty Plot here. Nasty Plot's actually quite safe. And so... Decorate, Protect. feels good. Because it kind of feels free. Shifu is still fast asleep. That's nice. That's a play. Good play. Make it rain. Yeah, Smeagol's done his job. Although if the make it rain happened before the nasty, it would have been interesting too. Because you don't get the decorate. Now Torn's looking really threatening. But you have your own Urshifu as well in the back. And you can kind of just Terra Water and hit the Goldengo here for free. Oh, you can't Terra. No, you can? But you can Terra still. And go for the guy. Yeah, just like... That's a good play. Surging Strikes. Goes in. No Terra though. But I think, yeah, the Bleaking should be around. Yeah, definitely no egg. But dude, so it's locked into Aqua Jet anyway. But it misses the Ursh. Oh my lord. I guess that's what you... If anyone were to miss, probably wanted to miss on Ursh, not the Deco, really. Miss is okay. Miss is okay because, like I said, the Ursh is locked into Aqua Jet. Given that it's banded. A Sharp Beak. +2 special attack Torn. Not good. And if you have Insane in the back as Dylan, it's also very troubling. This is a cool game mode that Mitch has set up for himself. So Darwin might be the... Okay. So you can like break multiscale with Surging Strikes. And you just Bleakwind Storm. Do you have to Terra? Maybe for like E-Speed Aqua Jet kind of stuff? Tailwind is up, yeah. That's the question, right? I guess Mitch wants to play it safe, just in case an E-Speed and Aqua Jet kills from here. It might actually because the banded stuff hurts. So let's say Ursh is like ready to wake up. The Bleakwood miss can hurt. Ursh does come out though. The Incineroar comes in. Drops the attack, which if it went for Surging, not gonna matter as much. Not matter at all really. Terrestrialization's been committed. There it goes. And also the Terra as well. 4. Surging Strikes. Which ain't that good because you kind of lose your resistance to water. Right, so now the Bleakwind here is going to actually kind of hurt if it hits, right? And it does hit both Mons, and it should wipe out the Dragonite. And regardless of what happens comes next, it looks super good for Mitch, because he can still Bleakwind here. He can't really fake out the Thorn. The Tailwind is gone, that's okay. But it's given that, like, Urshi's Scarf. He can Surging Strikes the Incineroar here and just go for a Bleakwind. Can also set up maybe Tailwind for late game, but I assume that he's going to be faster given that it's banded, so... Just gotta hit it, right? Like that. Urshifu will wake up. Or Aqua Jet, close combat. Okay, so it's faster than the it's faster than the Torn. This Bleakwood needs to hit though. Yeah, that's GG's. Wow. The Smeagol decorate. Side decorate. Proper. Proper good. Alright. Move on to the finals. Thing is. Alright, these guys are ready to go, locked in. Team sheets exchanged. So Diego's obviously game plan, get Trick Room up. You could try go for little Tinglu stuff. I think Tinglu obviously has to be a factor here for Mitch. You shut down a lot of things. That's such that, you know, do special attack. Bets, oh yes. Thank you for reminding me. Whoever bet on Mitch got their money. Now you get to put your bets on here, so you get to put the bets on either Diego or Mitch. Actually, I'll do Mitch or Diego. On our side. Effective. As well, so here we are. The final for the cup. Alright. Free Giraffe gets a Psychic Speed boost. Boosts special defense, which is quite nice, I guess, against special attackers, but not physical attackers that Mitch has presented Diego with here at the moment. So, you got a minute left to predict, make sure you get in. There's heaps of money coming in. 20 to 29k total of Kai coins. That's a lot of money. Put on the line. The U-turn comes in to the Indeedee, gets it down to just above half. No, there's about 29 K coins, but Kai coins. Alright, Tinglu, like I said, is a factor here. Comes in. Shiny Tinglu as well, love to see it. The Ivy Cudgel, right into the Indeedee. Drops the Indeedee here. The Trick Room, guaranteed. Come up as always. But Mitch is prepared with the thing there, so Bishifu comes in for Diego. Just trying to put that Tinglu into check, I guess. You know, but the Tinglu, the Terra is the poison Terra, so I don't know if you want to commit to hitting with a fighting type move, or dark type move. The Ferreira in the Carnival, because it doesn't really exert too much pressure. You know what I'm saying? Comes to follow me. Hard voice though. Does come out. Does some chip damage. Earthquake though. Comes out. Doesn't care about his own Ogre Pond. Does a little bit of damage. The Wicked Blow though goes into Ogre Pond, drops the pond. not allowing it to move. Because if it were to move next turn, it'd probably drop the Ferreira or even the Urshifu itself. Now it's interesting. We have the Urshifu on Mitch's side, which is a rapid strike. It does have choice scarf, so we know it's going to be moving fast. So order of turns is, I guess, the Ferreira, Tinglu, the Urshifu, Dark. So does he leave the Urshifu alone? Or does he double the Tinglu here? Or like Hyper Voice and then close combat the Tinglu? Well, he can't really, right? Because he's locked into Wicked Blow. So he probably has to Wicked Blow or swap out, or not sure, because the EQ can also hurt the 12 roll if it were to come in. Here comes the Terrestrialization, no switch swap-ins for anyone. Terrestrialization, Terra Water. Rage Giraffe use Expanding Force. Doesn't affect the Tinglu, obviously. Might kill... No, it won't. Because the Terra, the Earthquake does come through. It doesn't... Tinglu not caring for its teammates. Might even drop it. Oh, it gets down to 1 HP. Drops the Ursh. Would be nice if that EQ actually dropped its own. Ursh would be nice to hit that thing. Here comes Smeagol. Yeah, offensive pressure isn't very exuding from Mitch's side, but he's one Earthquake away and a half to kill both Ferreira, Giraffe and Urshifu. Right? You've also got Fake Out pressure. Well, you don't have Fake Out really, do you? But you could Decorate. Decorate is an interesting play. You decorate the Tinglu, right? Give it some bells and whistles. And it starts hitting like a like a truck. Urshifu does want to come out. Ursaluna does come in. Right. Wants to address this Tinglu and also reset the Wicked Blow. Now that we know that the Terrestrialization has been committed onto Mitch's side, Rage Giraffe goes for Terra Grass here. Hyper Voice out. Makes the Sash with Smeagol. Does a decent amount of damage. Aim same to Ursaluna does nothing. Critical hit and not that great, but you decorate into the Tinglu. Setting up for next turn. Can be kind of scary. But Ursaluna's in. And it's not here to play games. Follow me would be a play here. Chukrim's got one more turn left in it. Decorate again. Like Team Lu hit like a bloody plane. Tinglu protects. Stalling out of maybe a turn of Trick Room. The Facade though, into the Tinglu. A Hyper Voice should be enough to drop the Smeagol here. We do know that the Tinglu has been decorated for once, right? So it can hit pretty hard. Is it enough though? There's 3 Pokemon on Diego's side. Alright. The EQ comes out first. Needs to get a crit probably on the Ursaluna. And it does. Maybe. Maybe. That's interesting. But you got Urshifu in the back that comes in. Close combat should be enough. TC will win, yeah. Should, it should, right? At this range, choice banded, close combat. Set yourself up. Let's see, huh? This is a really good Pokemon from both players, I'll tell you that much. Getting Tinglu decorated is cool. Alright, close combat, enough, yeah. God is a KO graphics like this was true. I wish. Boom.
What's the money-wise if we win?
So, we'll have to sort it out when I go home.
Okay.
Especially with one of you guys.
I know, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's fine.
so,
I won't pay yet, but I know I think I get some money back.
yeah, okay. So did you come first, second?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no. We don't know yet. Oh, yeah, we don't know yet.
Oh, yeah. But I'll do it as per standings. So I've already got the first cup. I've got the challenge and I've got the cup. I don't know the third one yet. But once that's all sorted, maybe just pay me now and then I'll just send it back anyway. It's easier probably like that instead of deducting and stuff.
Did you cash?
I do, but I don't have time. Alright.
How much is it? $35?
Yes, for all the 3 events, yeah. For all the events, 35. Yeah. Just the cup was 15. Yeah. And Sydney region was there. Oh, you have your Oh, yeah, Auckland. Right. Yeah, I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
I'll send you bank details and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I'm sorry, it's like 2 events, same time. I know, yeah. But yeah, thanks for self-governing yourselves. Really important. That's great, 2 people.
And usually, we probably would miss 2 because Manful and DJ are here.
Yeah. And the young fella can't play anymore.
Well, he can.
Can't? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Just too young, right?
So, I will go in and play because he's an over. But he can't have Discord.
Right.
So you have to, his dad has to.
That's enough. Fair enough. Alright. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Alrighty. Final, no, actually, like we're here now. So we've got the Ogerpon and Smeagol coming up versus the Ferreira, Roth, and Indeedee. You already know what the Indeedee is going to do in this situation. But the Indeedee has a Rocky helmet instead of safety goggles, so this Spore might be interesting here. Kind of don't want to fall into the trap of like self-decorating, but I guess Mitch wants to address that situation of, okay, look, let me leave Indeedee here, let it just sit here and do nothing, because it's kind of a dead slot, and force you to swap out. So Follow Me comes up anyway. The Cudgel right into it. If this crits, it might be interesting. The Spore. Now it kind of becomes a dead slot. Are you off? Not doing a second one? Oh, hold on. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Yeah, man. See you in Sydney. Take care. Alrighty. So Indeedee's kind of dead slot right now, but does Diego kind of fall for the trap of like swapping in something there and then Mitch hitting there for free, or does Mitch go for the double onto like the Ferreira and whatnot? So the Indeedee does come out. Maybe hoping for maybe the Ursaluna perhaps to come in. Try to activate its Flame Orb here. Its Rationalization is going to come out for... for Mitch, which is the Terrifier. The next event is obviously going to be Sydney Regionals. There's Auckland Regionals. The next locals is probably going to be the next week. I think at the Card Hub at Greenacre, the 15th, I believe, on the Wednesday. So feel free to come there. I'll promo it as well, and I'll be there. Vehicle down to its sash. Does a decent amount to the spore though. Goes into the Ursa Luna. Very smart. The Cudgel. Looking at the Ferreira Roth. Might actually get there. If it crits. No crit. Brings in no Shifu though. Time. I'm not sure if you're in the Discord, but I can invite you to the Discord. See you if you're not already on it. The information's going to be there under tournaments, I think. Greenacre. Alrighty. Cheeky. Mitch calling the right plays here, getting the stuff right. Here comes the terrestrialization for Diego side. Gonna be that Terra Grass or Dark Shifu. Not wanting to get sport, or Terra Fire rather. Follow me. Urslimus gets his first mandatory turn of sleep. The Wicked Blow comes in, drops a Smeagol. Now there's no more sporing, and this is quite good for Diego because he thinks of every matchup quite well. And that Terrifier was saved at the right time here. But it doesn't go into him, it goes into the Ursula instead, gets it down to about 20-ish, 25%-ish. The Ting Lu comes in. Ting Lu, Bing Su. Alright. Trick Room times are kind of fading out here. And indeed here, just wanting to probably get sacked here. The Ogerpon does come out though. And Mitch brings in the Dragonite for more offensive pressure. Now the problem is, does Mitch go for the... Oh, the Ursula stays asleep, which is very unfortunate. The Earthquake though comes out from Ting Lu, doesn't affect the Dragonite. This probably dropped both Mons, not the Indeedee yet. Now, the Indeedee hasn't taken its first turn of sleep yet. Yeah, Shifu's here. And now the Ting Lu is just looking really happy right now. Looking at that Shifu. Given that it probably can live with CC, but the Dragonite's there to back it up. There's no follow me, the Earthquake comes in. Drops the DD, gets the Shifu down to half. And the Dragonite's free to do whatever it wants here. Even the Wicked Blow won't be enough. The Scale Shot brings it down. Very clinical from Mitch. Very clinical. See you later, see ya. Game 3. Yeah, I mean, Mitchell, not Mitchell. Yeah, Mitch was able to kind of get the call right there with sporing the Ursaluna switching. That was the big difference in that game there, just not allowing the Ursaluna to actually move. And it wasn't able to move. So... You know... The Smeagol is a problem, right? So I get that you have to follow me to set up Trick Room, to guarantee the Trick Room, but I think Diego will make the adjustments here. Mitch just has to keep doing what he's doing and just position himself well and make the right calls to kind of stall out, because when you lose like a turn of Trick Room of doing nothing, it kind of hurts the team because you got the bulkiness to kind of outlive that stuff. Alright, back at the beach. Indeedy, Hatterene, Ogapon and Tinglu. Quite a good matchup here for the Mitch, I believe. The Tinglu just, like I said, such a threat. In comes the Dragonite. Trustalization being committed early from Diego. Doesn't like the Tinglu being there. But he's gone for the Indeedee instead, which is the Dragon Terror. Probably just wants to take a hit. Also leaves very vulnerable for the Follow B comes in. Probably just wants to live like a double from the Ogapon. The Earthquake though, Tinglu just putting passive damage out there, just here and there. Like, that's actually a decent amount of damage, eh? Trick Room does come out. Right. The Hatterene has Calm Mind, Trick Room, Draining Kiss, and Expanding Force. Scale Shot. The Iron Head to protect. Just EQ again, just keep EQing. Hatterene comes out though. This might be a good turn for Diego if he's able to get Ursaluna in safely. Can't get crit though, just because you don't want too much damage dealt. Follow Me comes out. Because you want to be able to live a 2-hit from this EQ, so... EQ doesn't do as much. Alright. So now Diego can play with his pieces here. And Mitch can kind of just keep doing what he's doing. Just he can kind of store that Trick Room here. The Helping Hand though into the Ursaluna is going to go probably into the Dragonite that you think, because it just protected. The Facade goes into the Dragonite, into the Tinglu instead. And the Scale Shot comes out for free into the Ursaluna. Dragonite just being there. And just chipping away at the Ursaluna. Gets 5 hits in, no crits. Very fortunate to not have crits being dealt. Ursaluna's at a very low HP now, but the Tinglu's kind of wide open. Dragonite not so much. Trick Room turns are counting down though. And now Tinglu's looking like the biggest threat in the field. In which he swaps out. This is the third game in the finals. Helping hand into the Smeagol. The Smeagol just takes it like a beast. Because it's zashed. It's 1-1. And the scale shot's enough to get there. Now Diego's running out of time and out of pieces, especially offensive pieces. Oh, Shifu. One turn of Trick Room left. Your best bet probably is to swap out Dragonite here, bring in maybe Tinglu just to take a hit. Because I think a Dark Hit's coming. Smeagol can just follow me. But indeed he probably has to attack here with something, right? The Decorator to Dragonite is great. Spore as well. Indeed he comes out. Katarine comes in. Probably just trying to reposition the taunt. That's a nice taunt. Okay. The scale shot goes to Urshifu here. You can't get crit. This is tricky for Diego, isn't it? I mean, yeah, you stop the Smeagol here. You've got a Dragonite that's kind of like -3 defense. You gotta make the most out of your Hatterene here. But yeah, Mitch has so many pieces, doesn't he? The Tinglu. Bottom one. Comes back in. Not scared of anything. Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, just comes in, does what it needs to do, gets out. Big tank of a thing. It does a lot, I reckon, but it is multi-scale too, right? So a close combat into D-Knight would drop surely, right? The Iron Head. Gone. And it's looking dire for Diego. He's got one offensive piece left, and he goes for the Wicked Blow instead. Does enough. Does enough. Still got a redirector. He's got 2 redirectors technically, right? Indeed. You just... Yeah, I mean, I guess you bring terrain back, which is nice. Just the EQ from Tinglu is just too good. You can't disable it. The Spore into the most offensive piece that Diego has. And it's looking close to a GG now, guys. The EQ comes out, drops its own Smeagol, drops the Indeedee. Urshifu probably going to take its first turn of sleep here. There's nothing else in the back for Diego now. Ogapon just comes in. How fast is Smeagol? Pretty fast. It'd be faster than so it's faster than Urshifu, so it'd be like could be max speed like 149. Because it does have Tailwind with this team, so it's on the first. Yes, heavy slam. Battle's cancelled and GG, these guys shake hands and it's over. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for watching, eh? What a game, what a day, thank you everyone for coming.